This is the strangest dream of my life. I dreamed of time travel. The story began when I woke up in a dream. I was around 50 years old. I met a man in a suit. He was holding a bag. He opened it and found a yellow capsule inside. He handed me the pill. I didn't know why he gave it to me, but I took it and ate it. After I took it, everything cut away and I was in a different place. The place and surroundings were different, completely different from before. It was like I had been transported somewhere else. After a while, I began to remember something. I felt familiar with the place and remembered the factory I had worked in the past. I felt strange because the factory I saw was now closed. Suddenly, a man in a uniform walked towards me. He said to me, "Aren't you going to work yet? It's almost time." I turned to the man and found that he was my co-worker, whom I hadn't seen in a long time. He went in first. I couldn't help but wonder how this was possible. I walked into work, completely confused. As I walked in, I met many of my co-workers. I also met my boss, whom I hadn't seen in a long time. Everyone looked the same, as always. After a while, a man called my name and said, "Hey, you're late today. You must have slept like a log." Both the tone of voice and the way he spoke felt very familiar. I turned to the source of the voice and was shocked by what I saw. Because the voice calling me was the voice of my closest friend in life who had died a long time ago. I was stunned by what had happened. Then my friend asked again, "What's wrong with you? Are you sick? You look like you've seen a ghost." I stood there stiffly and didn't say anything. I was both afraid and didn't understand how all this was possible. Then my best friend got up from his desk and walked straight to me. He said to me, "You must have been working really hard. Don't overdo it and get some rest." Then he went back to working. I glanced around and found an empty table. So I walked to it. On that table, there was an employee's business card. I picked up the business card and found that it was my own business card, which meant that it was my desk. The picture of me on the business card showed a young man. Then I noticed the desk calendar on my desk. I tried to look at the date on the calendar. The date and month remained the same, but the year had changed. Because the year I saw was from about 30 years ago. I gathered my senses and pieced together all the stories that had happened. I finally figured out that this might be a time travel. A side effect of the yellow capsule the man in the suit had given me earlier. Now I felt like I had returned to being an employee. I thought there must be a reason the man in the suit had given me the pill and asked me to travel back in time. I thought he had some purpose, so I started searching for answers. I started by trying to remember important things I had done in the past. After a long time, I couldn't think of anything. None of them had anything to do with time travel. Time passed, and it was time to get off work. It was already evening, and the workers had all dispersed to go home. I usually travel home by bus. There's a bus stop in front of my factory nearby. I usually have to wait a long time. While I waited for the bus, there were other people waiting as well. After a tiring day at work, while I waited, I took in the atmosphere around me. The evening atmosphere, the cool breeze, the sounds of people talking, the cars running on the road, and the vendors selling their wares on the side of the road. It made me feel relaxed. At that moment, 2 or 3 middle-aged men in coats walked in and sat down next to me. Everything was normal until I glanced over at the group of men sitting next to me. I noticed something in their bag. It looked like a plastic bag, and there was a pill inside. I was sure it was yellow. Suddenly, the group of men turned their attention to me. One of the men said to me, "That's right. This is what brought you here. Do you think you are the only one who can travel through time?" I then answered him, "You came here for a purpose, right? What is your purpose?" He firmly replied, "I'm here to get rid of you." Suddenly, the group of men tried to grab some kind of weapon. Without delay, I quickly ran away from there. While I was running away, I was very lucky that I met a co-worker who was driving by. I quickly shouted for a ride. That co-worker was shocked by what happened. I didn't have time to explain everything so suddenly. I just told him, "Can I get a ride?" Get me out of here. Please, someone is trying to kill me. He was so shocked that he quickly got me in his car and drove away without a second thought. He quickly drove to the police station to take me there. When we arrived at the police station, so I rushed to the station and filed a report. I told the police that someone was trying to kill me. But I didn't mention going back in time. I was sure that if I talked about going back in time, the police wouldn't believe me. They would think I was crazy. The police station allowed me to stay until everything was resolved. And the police also kept me under surveillance. I felt a little more at ease. Now, I'm staying at the station, keeping an eye on the situation. At first, my colleague stayed with me for a while, then he went home. After a day, I remained at the station, and there was no sign of the group trying to kill me. The police then let me out of the station. When I left the station, I was about to go home. I had to go home on foot because the environment here is quite rural. There are no buses, no trains, and very few cars pass by. I then traveled for a while, walking along a road that was lined with forests on both sides. There were no houses, buildings, or shops, just bushes and forests. I felt very lonely. I thought that if something bad happened to me right now, I would definitely not survive. No one could help me. I walked and prayed that nothing bad would happen to me right now. Suddenly, I heard a faint sound from the bushes beside the road. The sound gradually got louder. So I had to turn to look. I found something in the bushes, then suddenly, that thing emerged from the bushes. That thing was just a wild animal. Nothing scary. So I walked for a while. I looked ahead as far as I could see. I saw a car running towards me. When that car got closer, the car sped up faster and faster. I then knew that the car was trying to hit me. I was alert in time and quickly jumped out of the way. When the car ran past me, the car stopped behind me. I turned back to look. I saw that the people in the car were the same group of men who were chasing me. They came here as if they knew my movements. At that moment, I could not run away. My hopes were fading. I thought I would definitely die. Suddenly, as if God had blessed me, a van came from the other side of the road. The van was also running straight towards me. When the van stopped in front of me, without delay, the people in the van grabbed their weapons and fought with the people chasing me. I was shocked. What the hell was going on while the two groups of people were fighting? Some of the people in the van tried to take me away. I had no choice. I chose to trust them. The end of the road was a river. I had no other choice. Without delay, they and I had to jump into the river and swim to the other side for our lives. Another group of people in the van were fighting with the group of people chasing me. The people from the van bought me time to escape. When I swam to the other side, I heard an explosion from the other side where I came from. I saw smoke filling the air. I thought that no one on that side had survived. Now I really wanted to know what the hell was going on. There were people chasing me, and then there were people who appeared out of nowhere trying to help me. The people who helped me escape told me that they would explain everything to me. They asked me to trust them. I thought it couldn't get any crazier because no matter where I and I would meet the people chasing me. They took me to a place I didn't know. The location looked like a military base or some kind of organization. It was hidden from people's eyes. When they took me inside, I met many people who looked like soldiers or people who had been trained to perform some kind of duty. They had weapons, military equipment, complete medical equipment, and food and many supplies. There was an old man, dressed differently from the others. I thought he might be the leader of these people. He walked up to me and then he started a conversation. He explained everything to me. And this is what he explained to me: you have to calm down and listen carefully. You are now about 20 years old. In 20 years, you will be about 40. Our world will be in a state of war divided into two major sides. And you are an important person who can change the course of history of the war. The group of people who are trying to kill you are on the opposite side of us. They can go back in time. So we have to send people to protect you. And the man in the suit you saw at the beginning is one of our people. We sent him to give you a medicine so that you can go back in time. Here so that we can protect you because you are an important character in this story. And the mission you have to do is to assassinate the leader of our opposite side. You have to succeed in this. If you fail, everything will start over and repeat itself. When the old man finished speaking, I was so shocked that I couldn't speak. I believed everything the old man said. Time passed. I lived in this space all my life and waited for everything the old man said to happen. Nearly 20 years passed. Many conflicts occurred in the world. One country assassinated another country's important person. Many countries started fighting each other, which led to wars and eventually became a world war. Everything was true. Everything happened as the old man told me. 20 years ago, and now I am about 40. I had an important mission to assassinate an important person. I was the leader of an assassination group. I made a mistake and everyone in my team died. Only I survived. But I failed the mission and was unable to assassinate an important person from the opposing country. Even though I survived, I had to bear this guilt like a sin that would stay with me for the rest of my life. I suffered so much, I wanted to forget everything, so I decided to take pills to erase my memories. I forgot everything and fled to live at the ends of the earth as if nothing had happened. And lived a meaningless life. Until 10 years later, I was 50 years old. I lived my normal life until one day I met a man in a suit again. The man in the suit handed me a red pill. When I took the pill, all my memories returned. And I remembered everything again. Then I knew that the man in the suit in front of me was the same person. The same person I had met a long time ago. So I understood. Everything is repeating itself and is going to happen again if we can't change it. The timeline will loop over and over again endlessly. And then I woke up from my dream to the real world. I was stunned by myself. What was this dream? I was afraid to forget everything. Without delay, I quickly recorded all the stories that I could remember to tell everyone. And my whole story ended.